Thank you for tuning in and welcome to Errant Painting. Today I'm painting up another Reaper Bones miniature and another vampire. As I had so much fun last week painting up the female vampire. This one is called Judas Bloodspire or something. But I'll probably give him another name when I use him in Errant Quest, which is my own homebrew dungeon crawling campaign set in Warhammer's old world, for those who don't know that yet. Anyhow, in preparation for painting this mini, I washed it in dishwashing soap, and gave it a good scrub with a toothbrush before cutting the integral base into a peg for a slaughter base, and then gave the model a spray of Wraithbone spray. And you can definitely do that to Bones minis, even though it says on the package that you're not supposed to spray prime them. Just wash them first. It's never been a problem for me. Anyhow, first things first, I'm gonna paint his flesh, and for that I'm gonna take some Guilliman flesh. This is a nice pale flesh tone. Next up, I'm gonna paint his plate mail with some Flesh Terrace red. Next up, a bit of Skeleton Horde, and this is for the skulls and bones decorating his sword handle, as well as the, ruffles on his chest. Next, I'm gonna take some Blood Angels red, and this is for his eyes, as well as the inside of the cape. Next up, Black Templar, and this is for everything else. His hair, the rest of his clothing, and the last details on the sword. Next up, a tiny little bit of Glorious Gold. And this is for the rings on the sword handle and the details on his chest, the buttons and the skulls. Then a little bit of chainmail silver, also from Vallejo Game Color, and this is for the sword blade. I decided to paint the remaining studs on the armor with gold as well. Now I'm gonna paint the masonry on his base with mechanical standard gray. Next up, it's time to get some texture on the base, and for that I'm using Vallejo Dark Earth texture. And a very beat up brush. And now a little bit of Raglan Flesh Shade, and this is just for the golden details. I gave his skin a glaze of highlight skin from the Fantasy Pro Nocturna line from Vallejo, but somehow forgot to record it. But anyway, I think he looks much more like a vampire now. Yeah, anyhow, next up I'm gonna take some Nuln Oil, and this is for the base, the sword blade. Next up, some Taminatsu stone, and this is to dry brush the texture on the base as well as the stonework he's standing on. And now, finally, some Model Color Black, and this is for the base rim. I've added a bit of Swamp Tuft from the Army Painter, and he's done. I'm pretty happy with him. As usual, it was a fast paint job, and now I have another villain for my players to face in the Dungeons of Errant quest, which is always nice. If you haven't yet, see last week's video where I painted up a female vampire, and tune back in next week for another Reaper Bones painting tutorial or painting video, whatever you want to call it. Anyhow, take care and bye bye.